Welcome to the Fail Forward podcast. The purpose of this podcast is change the negative stigma around failure into a positive. Failure is only a negative if we do not learn from it and we give up. Welcome back to the Fail Forward podcast. Today, I am going to be talking about what things in your life do you reject or say you're never going to do or not do, and then actually a few years later that happens. What I mean by this is the amount of times in my life I have said, I can't do this, I'm never going to do it, I can't do it, and then suddenly I've started doing it. And what my point is, I'm sort of going a bit around the bush with this. What my point is there's so many things in life that we say we can't do or we're never going to do, but actually what is stopping us from doing them? And to give you context, before I became a tree surgeon, when I was 20 years old when I became a tree surgeon. About 6 months before, I'd lost my job and I ended up working for a traffic management company, and we had to do some night shifts, and the night shifts were supporting tree surgeons. And I was watching these tree surgeons working away on the side of a road, chipper going everywhere, sawdust going everywhere. And I actually remember saying, I could never do that job. I actually said, I could never do that job. I don't really want to work outside. I wouldn't want to get all that sawdust in my eyes because I get really stingy eyes from just cutting the grass. I could never be a tree surgeon. And then rolling on, 19 years later, I've been in the tree surgery industry 19 years. Another thing that happened recently is I actually went on holiday and I lost weight on holiday because I was working out every single day on holiday. And my wife, Sarah, laughed at me because about 15 years ago, we went to France in our camper van, in our T4 camper van. And there was a couple next to us and they'd turned up and they had a full gym set up that they pulled out of. They had a barbell, a weight bench. And I was like, why are people exercising when on holiday? Are they nuts? Like, no one exercises on holiday, do they? And it got me really thinking, because I then this last holiday I went for a run every day. We were paddleboarding, I was doing press ups, sit ups, I was working out. And actually my holiday was 10 times better because every day I woke up with bags of energy. I wasn't overeating. I still had indulged as you do on holiday, but I ended the holiday and I got on the scales and I was so much lighter than when I started. I'd lost a couple of pounds. And it really got me thinking about how many other things in life do you say, why do people do that? I'm never going to do that. And you're actually restricting your mindset. And you've heard me talk about this a lot on this podcast. Our mindset and our minds restrict us from doing so many things. Like I've said it so many times, the great Henry Ford's quote of whether you think you can or you think you cannot, you're right. And it all starts with the mindset. When you start saying, I can't do something, you're putting barriers up all the time. So my question to you guys out there, what are you doing or not doing in your life where you say, I couldn't do this, or I can't do that, or I'd never do that, or that wouldn't suit me? When actually, if you lent into it, you could do it more. Like I was on a retreat by an amazing guy called John Beesom, and he is the CEO adventurer. And he said to me, Henry, I'm trying new things. Like I'm not that sort of woohoo into things like meditation and I think yoga and things like that. But I'm now going to different classes just to try it out to see whether that is for me, or just to see what it's like and whether that's something, because my mind's telling me that I'm not going to be into that, but actually let me lean into it. So my challenge to everybody is what are you currently saying you can't do, not do, or won't do that actually, if you lent into, would actually do you some benefit? Because looking at my life, me saying for years that I'm not going to exercise on holiday, what that actually meant is that every time I went away on holiday, I overate, I overdrank, I had low energy. I didn't have the energy to be able to do everything I wanted on holiday because I'd either be hungover, I would be overeating, rolling on to years later and going on holiday and exercising. That was the best holiday I've ever had. I've never felt as relaxed, as energetic, as enjoyment, the time I spent with my family, the energy I had with the children. So what else is out there that you're currently saying you can't do or won't do that you could do or lean into and try it out? And, you might try some things out and go, actually, this is not for me. But at least you've tried it and you fail forward. And what do I always say? You win or learn. So you're either going to win and think you're going to benefit from it, or you're going to learn, because there's so much stuff that we could do out there. But unfortunately, we get trapped in our day-to-day lives sometimes of just doing rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So the point of this episode really is to say, try something new every week or every month and see whether it works, because sometimes some of the most amazing things are in the places that we least expect them. The most biggest learnings are in the places that we least expect them. So go and try something new, go and fail forward, go and win or learn, and let me know what you think and let me know what you've done, because I'm always intrigued to try new things. Short episode, but thanks for listening, and please like, share and subscribe. Thanks all.